With millions and millions of copies sold, Monster Hunter World has been a huge success for Capcom, and so it's no surprise that they're sticking with it and releasing Monster Hunter World Iceborne in September. We got to go hands-on with the full version of the expansion from the very beginning of it, encountering new beasts, visiting its new areas, seeing the story start to unfold, and so much more. So here's 6 things to know about Monster Hunter World Iceborne. Number 1, it is an expansion. In a world where games and developers are heading ever more in the direction of live services and free content, Iceborne is a straight-up expansion pack that, while it's possible to buy as DLC, is roughly equivalent to the old Ultimate Expansion re-releases. And actually, it's got a lot in common with those expansion re-releases because you will be able to buy Iceborne as a full collection with the original base game at retail as well. What this means in practical terms is that if you've played through Monster Hunter World, you'll be able to dive straight in and visit the new parts of the world without having to start all over. If you stopped part way through or are a newcomer to the game, then you will need to first finish off the main story campaign and have hit Hunter rank 16 before you can join the new hunt. Unlike games like Destiny 2 or certain MMOs, there's no catch-up mechanic at play to speed you on your way, so prepare yourself for a bit of grinding. Number 2, head out and explore Hoarfrost Reach. When the word frost is incorporated in the name of a place, you pretty much know that it's going to be a little bit nippy. Hoarfrost Reach is a big new location to explore, and is in fact the biggest in the game so far. It's also bloody freezing. It all starts when the Commission sends you out to look for Legiana, but it doesn't take long before you encounter a Velkhana, another one of those pesky elder dragons, and see it flying off into the distance. Following it, you find this big new landmass to explore that is blanketed in snow in parts, made up of ice glaciers in others, and with deep caverns to head into. No matter how wrapped up and nice and warm you look, depending on the armour that you've equipped, you will still need to deal with the stamina sapping cold, which gradually reduces your max stamina unless you drink down a hot drink or take a dip in some of the hot springs that you find. The new home base in this area is called Celiana, with a mixture of new and returning faces in the camp. The new Grammy-ouster chef has even come out of retirement for the occasion and brought a lovely new cooking cinematic with her. Number 3, encounter new and returning monsters. As with any Monster Hunter game or expansion, there's a mixture of new and returning monsters for you to hunt down. Starting from the very beginning of Iceborne, we encounter the new Biotodus, which is almost like a land shark in how it burrows into the ground and snowdrifts, its horn peeking out from the ground before it leaps and attacks you in a variety of different ways. That was then followed by the Banbaro, which featured in the demo that was released last month after E3, and this is a bit of an oversized elk with huge horns that can dig up balls of rock and ensnare trees that it then charges at you with. For the third monster in the expansion is the Viper Tobi-Kadachi, a returning monster but part of a new poisonous subspecies. It's a really tricky customer to deal with high speed and spinning attacks where it spits out poisonous barbs at you, so make sure that you've got plenty of antidotes and healing potions when dealing with this one. Luckily for us, and as is often the case, another monster stomped in to help in our battle with the Tobi-Kadachi, giving us a glimpse of the Fulgur Anjanath from quite a bit later into the expansion. But obviously, even with 3 hours under our belt, this was really just scratching the surface of all of the monsters that we can see. Number 4, the Monster Hunter's new moves. With the expansion comes some tweaks to the gameplay. Each of the 14 weapon types are getting some new combos and new elements to play with, so there will be new depths to explore with that. But the most eye-catching gameplay additions come with the Slinger. For one thing, you can now use the Slinger when a weapon is drawn, just by pulling the left trigger to start aiming, but it's also no longer just for attracting the attention of a monster and trying to get them to stay in a fight. The Clutch Claw is a new attachment that lets you grapple onto a monster, targeting a specific limb to latch onto, and then lets you unleash a multi-part attack. It's great for getting right back into the mix and can be incorporated into some of your attack combos. You also have a new Flinch Shot, which lets you use up some slinger ammo to stun enemies, again tying into how this can be combined with your main weapon's attacks. The one thing to be aware of is that this is exclusive to Iceborne. As was stated at E3, the new action elements like the Clutch Claw and the new weapon elemental attacks will be visible to players of the base game and can be used by Iceborne owners if you team up with them. But if you don't own Iceborne, you won't have access to these new tricks. Number 5. The new Master Rank difficulty. This is a new tier of enemy difficulty above low and high rank from the main game, adding some new moves and behaviours to the monsters that feature in the quest that you take on. However, it seems that this is restricted to what you find in Iceborne. As far as we can tell from what we saw and have had explained to us, all of the assigned quests that you unlock are set in Master Rank difficulty and feature the new beasts in the expansion pack. And so, similar to the Clutch Claw, none of this really folds back into the original game. Number 6. The new loot and armor sets. Of course, Monster Hunter is all about that feedback loop of battling monsters and harvesting their bits and bobs to turn into new armor sets and weapons. While our first runs through the expansion's opening didn't give us a chance to actually craft any of this new gear, we did get to preview how the new Banbaro and Beatodus armor sets look, and some of it looks pretty damn awesome. Alright, that's all that we've got for this video. Thanks for checking in with us, and make sure to like, subscribe and share before you go. You can also head over to thesixaxis.com for our written preview, and hopefully we will see you again soon. Goodbye!